I'm just going to come out and say it. Studies and polls in 2021 support the view that people holding extremist and conservative views are on average less educated and of lower intelligence than the general population. Keep watching. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like button, subscribe and get notified of new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Researchers at Cambridge University published a study earlier this year that showed, amongst other things, that people holding extremist political attitudes tend to perform very badly on complex mental tasks. Amongst this group, the way that their brain is wired, or their cognitive disposition, to use the researchers' term, would appear to dictate their nationalistic, political and dogmatic beliefs. And this has a far bigger influence than their age, race or gender. The study looked at 330 participants who were asked to carry out a battery of tests and personality questionnaires over a couple of weeks' period. And the results were quite shocking, suggesting that ideological attitudes mirrored cognitive decision-making ability. To put it simply, extremists are less intelligent. According to the lead psychologist authoring the report, people with extremist attitudes struggle with complex mental tasks. Individuals who struggle to process or plan complex sequences are drawn to authoritarian, right-wing attitudes that simplify the world into good and evil, right and wrong, us and them, and can ultimately make these people more drawn to extreme ideologies. These same people are less good at regulating their emotions, more impulsive, and seek out what the researchers call emotionally evocative experiences. The kind of extremists that are most likely to commit violence against innocent people, like Joe Cox's murderer. In some of the tasks in the study, participants were asked to respond as quickly and as accurately as possible. People who leant towards the politically conservative tended to go for the slow and steady strategy, while political liberals took a slightly more fast and furious, less precise approach. The report summarised this by saying that conservatism is a synonym for caution. At a very basic neuropsychological level, they say, individuals who are politically conservative treat every stimulus they encounter with caution. There's an element of fear in their attitude and approach to decision making. And when you think about this in real world terms, Boris Johnson's government seemed particularly effective at using this caution to whip up fear amongst the Conservative electorate. The fear of immigrants, the fear of being dictated to by Brussels, the fear that we'd have been forced to join a European Union army had we remained, the fear of Muslim women wearing burqas, the fear of the French stealing British fish, the fear of socialism, the fear of wokeism. Fear seems to be the main motivation of Conservative voters. And according to this Cambridge University research, it seems to arise at a basic neuropsychological level, where every stimulus Conservatives come across is treated with caution. But as well as evidence from psychological studies, such as this 2021 study from Cambridge University, suggesting that intelligence levels have an effect on political convictions, polling also suggests that educational attainment is closely correlated with political attitudes too. The polling after the Conservative success at the 2019 election was quite eye-opening. If you take a look at this breakdown from YouGov polling at the time, you can see that although the Tories won 45% of the vote across the board, their majority came from non-graduates, with 58% of those qualified to GCSE standard or below voting Tory, compared to only 25% for Labour. If you look at graduates, people educated to degree level or higher, then Labour won a clear margin over the Tories in this group, with 43% of graduates voting Labour, against only 29% for the Tories. And of course, if we look at the Brexit vote, no surprise that we find a similar phenomenon going on. Another YouGov survey, taken after the referendum in 2016, shows that among the lowest educational achievers, 70% of them were Leave voters, compared to only 30% Remain. At A level it was 50-50, and then at degree level and above, there was a huge margin in favour of Remain, 68% against 32%. No wonder that Michael Gove, speaking on behalf of the Leave campaign, said that they'd had enough of experts. It strikes me that the only long-term solution to getting rid of the Tories and the populist, fear-based, us and them ideology that is currently contaminating British politics is education, education, education.